Welcome. The following training is for Campus Security Authorities, also known as CSAs. CSAs are individuals the Clery Act designates as reporters of crimes deemed reportable by the Clery Act. The Clery Act is a federal law requiring colleges and universities to provide community members with information related to campus safety. The Clery Act's mission is to support community members in making informed decisions for their safety and the safety of others. One way this is done is through the disclosure of annual statistics of certain crimes reported to the institution. Though our institution has a public safety department, statistics show not all crimes are reported to law enforcement or security personnel. At times, individuals will choose not to report to law enforcement and report a crime to a trusted person. If our institution only disclosed crimes reported to law enforcement, statistics wouldn't provide a clear picture of crime on campus. In order to share the most accurate statistics, the Clery Act designates certain individuals on campus who are considered Campus Security Authorities, or CSAs. CSAs are required to report incidents reportable to the Clery Act that is reported to them. Based on your role with the university and your relationship with students, you are considered a CSA. When a CSA receives a report of a Clery crime that occurred on Clery geography, it is considered a Clery reportable crime. As we go through the training, you will notice similarities to other federal regulations. Though there is some overlap, just remember, the Clery Act is its own federal law with its own policies and reporting regulations. For Clery Act reporting, only certain crimes need to be reported. The following crimes are considered Clery crimes and would need to be reported should they be reported to you. Criminal homicide, sexual assault, robbery, aggravated assault, burglary, motor vehicle theft, arson, hate crimes, dating violence, domestic violence, stalking, and hazing. For the purposes of reporting hazing, it's important to understand how the Clery Act defines a student organization. Any of these Clery crimes or an attempt to complete these crimes occurring on Clery reportable locations are reportable to the Clery Act, should they be reported to you. Additionally, you do not need to investigate the incident before reporting it. Just report what you know. Where the crime occurs is an important part of the reporting process for the Clery Act. Only Clery crimes occurring on Clery designated property, or Clery geography, is reportable for the Clery Act. The following areas are considered Clery geography. On campus. This is university-owned or controlled property within the borders of our main campus. Public property. These are streets, sidewalks, parks, or thoroughfares within campus or immediately adjacent to campus. Non-campus is property the university owns or controls, but is not within our main campus border. If a crime reported to you did not occur on Clery geography, you are not required to report it for the Clery Act. However, when in doubt, just report the incident. The office in charge of Clery compliance will follow up with any questions they may have. If a Clery crime occurring on Clery geography is reported to you directly or indirectly through a third party, it should be reported for Clery Act reporting. Anything shared as a potential rumor, you overheard in someone else's conversation, or someone sharing their story to an audience at a public event is not considered a direct or third-party report. Therefore, you are not required to report this information for the Clery Act. Some of the information to submit with your report includes date and location the incident occurred, if there was a relationship between the parties involved, and most importantly, a description of the incident that was reported to you. When filling out a CSA report, if you don't have all the information requested, just simply fill out what you know. You do not need to classify or generalize the information. Just report whatever information was reported to you. As a CSA, anything reported to you cannot be kept confidential. If someone wants to report information to a confidential contact, please refer them to the appropriate resources for our campus. The university complies with the Clery Act to ensure our community is informed to make the best decisions for their safety. Additionally, the Clery Act is monitored by the Department of Education, who enforces strict financial fines with areas of noncompliance. Many institutions have suffered the burden of noncompliance with the Clery Act. The ramifications are not only financial, but the reputation of the institution can also suffer. Our university community works hard to make our institution a safe and welcoming place for everyone. Clery compliance is a campus-wide effort, and our campus must work together to ensure we are following federal regulations and reporting obligations. As a CSA, you will need to report Clery Act crimes occurring on Clery geography to the institution. We understand that Clery compliance can be somewhat complicated. If you are unsure if it is a Clery crime, if it occurred on Clery geography, or whether something needs to be reported, just report what you know. You can always reach out to the office managing Clery compliance for assistance or support. Please see additional information on how to report Clery Act crimes as a CSA and other relevant information. To submit a CSA report, go to clery.utk.edu. On the left-hand side, select the CSA Reporting Form tab to access the form. It is important to note that CSA reports should be submitted in a timely manner. Delays in reporting could cause compliance issues for the institution with the Department of Education. Upon learning the information, please submit your report as soon as possible. In cases of an emergency or something that may require immediate attention, please call 911, UTPD, or use the nearest blue light phone for assistance. Every university-funded trip is required to have a designated leader to operate as a CSA and report any Clery crimes to the Clery coordinator. To make this designation, we ask you to fill out the short stay campus security designation form for any domestic travel. This is not required for international travel, as the Center for Global Engagement staff operate as the CSAs for those trips. All program leaders of international travel should report any incidents as soon as possible to the Center for Global Engagement, who will contact the Clery coordinator. For more information about Clery compliance on campus, go to clery.utk.edu. For questions about this training or any questions related to Clery on campus, please contact the Clery coordinator, Kristen Parrott, at clery@utk.edu.